Congratulations, my husband. I brought a gift too.
Titi, not here. What is inside that envelope?
The result you refused to collect before our wedding. Azoospermia. 0 sperm count.
What?
So if you have 0 sperm, whose baby did your mistress just name? All this while, you made me think I am the fault. You insulted and maltreated me. Your mistress has cheated on you. Now, leave my house. I own all the properties, cars and houses. I don't want to ever see you again. Wait, you have a lot to learn from this story. Subscribe, like, and share to that your friend that needs this. Let's continue.
Have you ever smiled so calmly at people who were waiting to see you break? That was me. My name is Titi, and yesterday I walked into my husband's side chick's naming ceremony wearing a gold lace bubu, gele tied like a crown, makeup sitting perfectly on my face, and one small black handbag hanging on my wrist. Inside that bag was a gift. Not baby clothes, not money, not perfume, not even diapers. It was a gift that would turn music into silence. A gift that would make jollof rice stop halfway in people's mouths. A gift that would make a whole family realize that sometimes the quiet woman is not weak. She is only waiting for the right microphone.
For 6 years, I was married to Damilare Adeyemi. Everybody called him Dami. When we first got married, he used to call me his peace, my Titi, my blessing, he would say. But after 1 year passed and there was no child, his voice changed. After 2 years, his smile changed. After 3 years, his mother changed towards me completely. By the 4th year, I was no longer Titi. I became that barren woman. His mother would enter my kitchen, look at my stomach and hiss. Food cannot keep a man forever. A woman that cannot give birth is just decorating another woman's husband. I heard it. I swallowed it. People in church would touch my shoulder and say, "Don't worry, God will do it." At weddings, women would ask me, "Any good news yet?" At family meetings, I was served advice like food. Drink this herb. Go to that mountain. Stop eating cold things. Pray harder. Fast more. Beg God better. Nobody asked Dami anything. Nobody looked at him. Nobody said, "Brother, have you checked yourself?" No. In Nigeria, when a marriage has no child, the woman becomes the hospital, the problem, the prayer point, and the shame. So I carried it. For 6 years, I carried insults like pregnancy. Then, 3 months ago, Dami came home with a young woman. She was light-skinned, heavily pregnant, wearing a fitted blue gown and chewing gum like the house belonged to her. Dami stood in the sitting room, chest out, smiling like a man who had won a trophy. "Titi," he said, "this is Kemi." I looked at her. She looked at me. Then Dami dropped the sentence that finished the last soft part of my heart. "She is carrying my son. Since you couldn't give me a child, she will." For a moment, the ceiling fan became louder than everybody in the room. I looked at his mother. She was smiling, not even hiding it. "Finally," she said, "God has remembered this family." I wanted to scream. I wanted to break plates. I wanted to drag Dami by his shirt and ask him if madness was now his new perfume. But I did not. I smiled. I said, "Welcome, Kemi. You must be tired." That night, I cooked. I served her rice and chicken. I gave her cold water. I even asked if she needed extra pillows. Dami looked confused. His mother looked disappointed. They expected fire. They expected drama. They expected me to disgrace myself so they could say, "You see, that is why God did not give her a child." But I gave them peace. Dangerous peace. Every morning I cooked for Kemi. I rubbed her feet when they were swollen. I bought baby clothes. I followed her to antenatal twice. People started whispering,
Titi is foolish. She is desperate. She wants to remain in the marriage by force. See how she is taking care of her replacement. I heard everything, but nobody saw what I was really doing. Nobody saw me watching. Nobody saw me counting dates. Nobody saw me collecting small truths from careless mouths. Because one thing about secrets is this: they don't like silence. They always look for where to leak.
Last week, Kemi gave birth to a baby boy. Dami cried at the hospital. His mother rolled on the floor. "Motiri omo," she shouted. "I have seen a grandchild." The family WhatsApp group exploded. Pictures everywhere, congratulations everywhere. People who never called me for 6 years started posting God of Wonders. I looked at the baby's picture. Cute boy, small nose, full hair, innocent face. Then I zoomed in and I smiled because the baby looked familiar. Not like Dami, not like Kemi. Familiar in a way that made my chest go cold. Yesterday was the naming ceremony. The compound was full, canopies everywhere, white plastic chairs, big coolers of jollof rice, women in aswebi, men laughing loudly with bottles in their hands. The DJ was playing old Fuji music, then switching to gospel, then back to party jam. Everybody was happy. Too happy. When I entered, the whole place became quiet for 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. But I felt it. Their eyes moved from my gele to my face, from my face to my stomach, then to the baby's mother, sitting like a queen beside my husband. Some women whispered. Some pitied me. Some enjoyed the show. Dami's mother saw me and laughed loudly. "Ah, Titi, you came? Good woman. At least you know how to celebrate another woman's blessing." People laughed. I smiled. I greeted her properly. "Mommy, congratulations, ma." Her smile widened. She thought she had won. Dami avoided my eyes at first. Then he came close and said quietly, "Please don't cause trouble here." I looked at him and adjusted his agbadakola. "Me? Trouble? Today is your son's day." He relaxed. Poor man. He still did not know that thunder sometimes arrives wearing perfume. I danced. I danced so well, people started spraying me money. I even sprayed Kemi. I sprayed Dami. I sprayed his mother. The crowd shouted, "Ah, Titi has a good heart. This woman is strong. God will bless her." I smiled and kept dancing. Inside my bag, the envelope was waiting. After the food was served, I sat down and ate jollof rice. Not because I was hungry, but because I wanted witnesses to remember. They must remember that I ate. They must remember that I danced. They must remember that I did not enter that place like a mad woman. I entered like a wife. And I would leave like a stone. Then the pastor stood up. He prayed. They named the baby Ayomide Oluwadamilare Jr. The crowd clapped. Dami lifted the baby proudly. His mother cried again. Then they announced gift presentation. People brought diapers, baby bath, cash envelopes, gold chain. One auntie even brought a small Bible. Then I stood up. The murmuring started immediately. Dami's mother leaned forward. Kemi stopped smiling. Dami's best friend Segun, who had been sitting in front since morning, suddenly looked down at his phone. I noticed. My spirits noticed too. I walked to the front slowly. The MC laughed nervously. Mommy of the house wants to give gift. Some people clapped. Some people brought out their phones. I collected the microphone. My hand was steady. My voice was soft. "Good afternoon, everybody." "Good afternoon," they answered. I turned to Dami. "Congratulations, my husband." He nodded, smiling small. I also brought a gift. The crowd clapped louder. I opened my bag and brought out a brown envelope. Dami's smile started fading. His mother frowned. Kemi adjusted the baby wrapper. I continued. Before Dami and I got married, we both went for medical tests. The place became quieter. Some results were collected, some were not. I looked at Dami. You never collected yours. His face changed. But I did. Somebody whispered.
The DJ reduced the music completely. Even the children stopped running. I opened the envelope. My fingers did not shake. Damilare Adeyemi, I read. Test result, azoospermia. I paused. Then I looked up. For those who do not understand big grammar, it means 0 sperm count. The microphone caught the sound of somebody's spoon falling inside a plate. I turned to the crowd. 0. Not low. Not weak. 0. The compound froze. Dami stepped forward. Titi, what nonsense is this? I raised my hand. No, my husband. Today is for truth. Let truth also eat rice with us. People gasped. His mother stood up. Shut up, you are lying. I smiled at her. Mommy, the hospital stamp is there. The doctor's name is there. The date is there. You can call them now. Kemi's face had turned grey. The baby started crying.
Then I asked the question that broke the whole ceremony. So, if my husband has 0 sperm count, I looked at the baby. Then I turned slowly to Segun. Whose child is this? Every head turned. Segun stood up too fast for an innocent man. Why are you looking at me? He shouted, but his voice cracked. Kemi burst into tears, not the tears of confusion, the tears of exposure. Dami looked at Kemi. Kemi looked at Segun. Segun looked at the ground. And in that moment, everybody understood. Dami staggered backwards like somebody had slapped his spirit. His mother sat down slowly.
For the first time in 6 years, she had nothing to say. I folded the result back into the envelope. Then I brought out another paper. Dami looked terrified. Yes, I said softly. There is more. I faced him. The house you brought her into is mine. My father bought it before we got married. Your name is not on the document. I stepped closer. You have 2 hours to leave. His mouth opened, but no words came out. I dropped the microphone gently on the chair, not on the floor. I was raised well. Then I picked up my bag, adjusted my gele, and walked out. Behind me, the naming ceremony became a family meeting. Behind me, music died. Behind me, lies started fighting each other. And as I entered my car, I heard Dami shouting my name. Titi, Titi, wait. But I did not wait, because 6 years was enough. 6 years of blame, 6 years of shame, 6 years of being called Barren, while their real problem was wearing agbada and pride. So when people ask me if I went too far, I ask them one thing. How far is too far when a woman has been pushed for years and still chooses truth over violence? I did not shout. I did not fight. I did not scatter chairs. I only brought a gift this should have opened 6 years ago. So tell me, did Titi go too far, or did she simply return the energy with interest?